Welcome to class. All right, this is going to be the first time I try to do a video in real time. I'm going to be going through some of the documentation with you on the processing.org website and also showing you how to use the random function. You'll be using both of these tools a lot throughout this class. You'll be using a lot of randomness, and you'll be using the documentation on this website a lot. This will be true in this programming class, in every programming class, and then anything you do in programming after class. You want to get good at learning how to use the documentation. All right. Here I am at the processing.org website, and I'm just going to hit in the search bar in here. I've typed in random, so I'll search there. It Googles it for me. And now I'm at the documentation for the random function. Okay, and then let's go through just the categories of information that it's going to give us. All right, first the name, some examples. Let's see, for int I equals 0, I less than 100, I plus plus. That looks like a for loop, which we haven't gotten to yet in this class. So both of those are for loops. Okay, that's okay. And then I see float r equals random 50. All right. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Description. Okay. Generates random numbers. Each time the random function is called, it returns an unexpected value within the specified range. If only one parameter is passed to the function, it will return a float between 0 and the value of the high parameter. For example, random 5 returns values between 0 and 5. Starting at 0 and up to but not including 5. If two parameters are specified, the function will return a float with a value between the two values. For example, random -5, 10.2 returns values starting at -5 and up to but not including 10.2. To convert a floating point random number to an integer, use the int function. Syntax: random high or random low high. Okay. And then the parameters, low, the lower limit, and high, the upper limit. Okay, I think based on that I can do something with random. And so what I'm going to do is I will initialize. It said I needed a float. So I've declared a float called random num. That's nice and descriptive. And let's just get one random number. And let's make it a number between 0 and the width of the canvas. And if it's 0, I don't have to type that. So I can just do width. Cool. And then for draw, let's just make a rectangle show up at random num 50. Okay, we should see one randomly located rectangle. And if I run it again, it should give me a rectangle in a different spot. Okay, great. Got some random rectangles there. There we go. Now, what if I wanted to cover the screen with rectangles? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the random function where I'm generating random num, and I'm going to move it down into the draw loop. Okay. All right. Now you can see that row of rectangles is all filled in. It's just randomly drawn rectangles across that row. Okay. Now part of your homework tonight is going to be to fill the screen with random ellipses of different colors. And that you're going to have to use several random numbers for that. You're going to have to use probably something for, let's see, float. Instead of random num, you know what, I'm just going to change this. You'll probably want, since you're going to have to keep track of random locations, you'll want to have something like position x and position y. And then you'll also want to have variables to keep track of all your different colors, like red, green, blue. And I'll just change this. There we go, that should still work. Good. And you'll have to use all of these different variables and generate random values for them. And you'll end up with actually a pretty nice looking picture. Now, the second part of your homework is to go into the documentation, and instead of just using what I've done, I'm actually going to assign that you go into the documentation and read about the stroke function. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. This is your assignment. Part of your assignment tonight is to go in and actually read all of this stuff. It is okay if you don't understand all of it the first time you read through it, but I expect you to read all of it. And I will expect you to use the stroke function in your homework in some way. And so it's going to change the stroke, the outline of your ellipse. And I'm just going to require that you use it to change something about the stroke of your ellipses in your animation. And if you get into it, you can actually change quite a lot, quite a few different things. Let's see, and I'll have the outline that I just showed you on GitHub for you to use, so you can just copy that into your processing sketch. All right, this is going to be a really valuable tool for you, and you'll be able to learn a lot of new things on your own and actually move a lot faster if you want to after this, once you get good at using this documentation. Good luck on your homework, and I hope you have fun with it.